Stellar network can help significantly improve the scalability and also reduce the latency of the current blockchains. Okay? And on top of Stellar network, people can build highly interactive decentralized applications that leverage the option scaling technology. So specifically, Stellar network provides a coherent option scaling architecture that consists of two parts. The first part is our technology stack called C-Stack. The other part is called C-Economy, which is the suite of crypto economics design that helps to handle the challenges that we have in the option scaling solutions. But for the sake of time, I will not get into the technical details about our technology of crypto economic design. If you're interested, feel free to check out our white paper or the Medium blogs. Okay. And we also have the development tools that already launched to the blockchain developers, where you can build a lot of fun, interesting stuff such as games or micropayments, and also some layer 2 decentralized financial applications like prediction market. And also you can building some like micropayment services into your own app. And so far we have launched like 2 testnet. The first testnet is called Centauri, which was launched last October. And the second testnet was launched this year in February. And along these 2 testnet, we have built up the infrastructure for the multi-hop and non-custodial payment networks that supports Ether and also many other ERC20 tokens. And also for the first time, we provide the support for the general state channels that allows people to run off-chain smart contracts. And so many other out-of-box features provided by our testnet. I will not go into them one by one. Okay, and so what I'm going to talk about today is our mainnet launch, which is called the Cygnus. So in Cygnus, mainnet launch, we basically launches two things. The first is our SellerX mobile applications called SellerX. It is user-facing mobile applications that is the layer 2 decentralized application platform that is specifically designed for esports gaming. And we also provide for developers SellerX gaming SDK that allow people to build and publish their games onto the SellerX. Okay. And if you have a smartphone, you can take out the phone and go to sellerx.app to try out our app. So our app currently has Android and iOS support. And onto this SellerX app, we basically players can compete with each other, play games, and win some crypto prizes like Ether, DAI, etc. Okay? And but unlike traditional decentralized applications, so the applications or the games hosted on Stellar network is highly interactive with millisecond delay. So for the first time, it enables really real-time interactive user experience for the decentralized applications, as if there's no blockchain exist. And also, since this is an option scaling platform, and you will not see any gas fees by using or playing these games. And also, the players will receive instant prize payout and also have 100% control of your own fund because it is a non-custodial. And finally, last but not least, the entire game playing process is secured by online blockchain. And we just launched our mainnet about like 1 week ago, and so far our users have been spread around 88 countries. Okay. And this is some statistics that we got 3 days after our mainnet launch, but the latest number should be higher. So 3 days after our mainnet launch, we accumulate around like 4,000 users, and there are around like 70,000 games played on SellerX. And in total, we award user fees around like 16,000 USD dollars. And we also see the 3-day user retention rate to be 35%. Okay? And what's interesting is that if all these kind of games were hosted onto the Ethereum mainnet, you will see like this kind of scale of matches or games will cause two-way congestion onto the Ethereum mainnet, and the total gas fee will be around $20,000. That's even higher than the kind of prices we award to the players. So that shows the benefits of using layer 2 technology in decentralized applications. Okay. And these are some of the feedbacks we got from users. Users think that they really love their user experience using ZX because it feels like a regular internet app. And they play the games day and night, and basically they does not feel the existence of blockchains. Okay. Now I'm talking a lot about the ZX app, and you can also try out the app. The next question for the developer is that, can I build my own games on ZX? So the answer is yes. We provide a specialized Seller SDK for game developers. Okay? And we have specifically tailored the SDK such that the integration process is extremely easy. All it takes is for the game developers to add 2 lines of code and done the entire integration, testing, and publishing process in under 10 minutes. Okay? So this is not something that I will promote here, not some advertisement words. You can actually check out a live coding tutorial that we have published into our SDK doc. You can check it out at docs.zx.app. Okay? And what's even more is that we also want to bring the developers outside the blockchain community. So people or game developers with zero blockchain experience can still integrate and publish their games onto ZX and immediately enjoy the option scaling solutions that Zero Network provides. Okay? So if you're a game developer and interested in publishing and monetize your game on ZX, you can reach out to me after my talk, and I'll be very happy to talk about the integration and publishing process. And this is also the developer portal that we designed for the game developers, where you can download their testing and publishing process for our games. And we believe that the smooth interaction of decentralized applications plus the high transaction volume equals a sustainable monetization path for game developers. Okay, now I'm going to talk about some of the practical lessons that we found during our mainnet launch. The first lesson we got is that the decentralized application user experience is the key to its mass adoption. Take an example of our app onboarding process. In our initial testnet launch, the Centauri test launch, the entire onboarding process involves 2 on-chain transactions. Okay? And that results about 55% drop rate during the onboarding process. And so we found this problem, and in the next testnet, we reduced the on-chain transaction during the on-chain onboarding process to just one on-chain transactions, and the drop rate from the 55% reduces to their 35%. But this is still very bad, especially when there's a burst of traffic coming into our app. And finally, in our mainnet, we further optimize the onboarding process, and the entire onboarding process only involves basically 0 on-chain transactions. So we only see 10% of what we want. So from this kind of user experience or optimization journey, we can see that even for the blockchain users, they understand everything about the slowness and also the kind of gas fee cost associated with the decentralized applications. They're still very impatient, and also kind of don't like the cost that they need when they try out their decentralized applications. So in order to not mention to the general audience who does not have or have no idea about the decentralized applications, so the lessons we learned here is that the user experience, in order to reach the general audience and to the mass adoptions, you will need carefully design the trade-off between the user experience and the trust level in your app. And we believe that the best technology should be as if this technology does not exist. So we don't think the blockchain technology should be something up in the air, but no one loves to use. So we want to build a product that everyone loves, and someone can actually generate revenue and have a legit business model onto the technology. And the second lesson we learned from our mainnet launch is that liquidity is really a big problem for the layer 2 network and state channel network. This is specifically for the layer 2 network because in order to become a option service provider, you need to log a large amount of liquidity into the state channel. And this kind of liquidity will not be used most of the time, but you have to lock in your liquidity because this is a non-custodial model. And but fortunately, we have a crypto economics design for liquidity banking auction that solves this problem. And the liquidity banking auction mechanism will be online in Q3 this year. Okay. So what's next? Recently I've been asking a lot about saying that when can I start to mine Stellar tokens and how can I do the staking into the Stellar network? Well, we have 3 crypto economics design in our white paper, and namely the proof of liquidity community mining, where you can stake in your liquidity and mine Stellar tokens, and this will be live in Q3 this year. And it will also provide the liquidity banking auction, which allows you to lend some liquidity from the cloud and to become an option service provider. And finally, we also have the State Guardian Network, which is SGN, which will be live in Q4 this year. Okay? And finally, we will also open the Stellar network protocol and stabilization process. And also, and at the end of this year, anyone who is interested in becoming an option service provider in Stellar network will be able to join the Stellar network at the end of this year. Okay, so that's basically all about my today's presentation, and I'm happy to take any questions you have.
질문 있으신 분 손 들어주세요. If you have any questions, please raise your hand. Yes?
I know that the Stellar network is developing a generalized state channel framework.
Yes.
So, are you going to develop open source library for generalized state channel?
Yes, exactly. So the slide I mentioned in the last slide, we were going to have an open source version for our underlying protocol so that everyone who is interested in integrating with the generalized state channel technology will be able to see that, modify that, and run that by the end of this year.
But right now, you are so you are suggesting a SDK for developers?
Not only the SDK. So currently we already have the SDK. What I mentioned is that by the end of this year, we'll provide the online, the open source version for what's online the SDK. So currently, the SDK is assuming that you have a black box, you have a binary value on top of your underneath your SDK. But by the end of this year, we'll open source that with the implementation of that black box.
One more question. If the developer develops a game,
yes,
like using your SDK,
yes,
then the app will be distributed to the network of Stellar network, or its channel, generalized state channel.
Yeah, so if you're trying to integrate with our gaming SDK, you will directly see your game being published into our Stellar X app, so which is like a central place for all the layer 2 decentralized applications on Stellar network. So that's specifically for the gaming applications right now.
추가 질문 없으신가요? Any more questions? Please raise your hand.